So fortunately, I'm in the hospital right now for preterm labor contraction situation. I'm 24 in 4 days, and I started having them last night around 10 p.m. and I haven't really been able to stop them, so I have all kinds of things hooked up to me right now. And I have an antibiotic going right now in 3 weeks. They think that it's possibly due to an infection that they haven't seen. So right now the plan is to, well, you see that board, stay pregnant. And I have to talk to my OB still to find out more information. They gave me some sort of pill that last night that makes you sleepy and tries to stop contractions to relax your body and your uterus. I'm still having some, also having like a high heart rate, so they're concerned about that. It's like going from 120s to like the 140s range, but right now I think it's at bay. So that's why they decided to do the antibiotics. Yeah, so they also gave me steroid for the baby's lungs in case they were to come early, and I have to get a second one, and painful. Let me tell you, that is very painful. Can you say something?
Bye.
Bye. I'll be back. Hey guys, so today is, what is today?
I don't know.
The 25th of June.
It is the 25th of June.
Wednesday? Thursday. We just got discharged from the hospital, but I have a crazy story to tell you because it's a lot. So they got the contractions to eventually slow down, go away. And my cervix has been thinning, so it's getting shorter. Or is it shortening? Shortening, not thinning. Shortening, so they have me on bed rest now.
Along with a number of other limitations.
Yeah, lots of limitations. But something very scary happened last night around 1 a.m. Well, it started around 12. And then by the time it was like, I think 1:30, I started kind of coming down from it. But we obviously don't have a legal case against the hospital because of this, because there's no, as far as we know right now, hasn't been any injuries from it, and they were able to stop it from killing me. But still, we were definitely neglected when this all happened, and
it was negligence of them to not be able to provide the proper care and provide us with the appropriate information for the medications that they gave her.
Right.
And to me, that's a big no-no on the hospital's part. A lot of negligence.
Right. Yeah, so basically what happened was my doctor, since I was experiencing a high heart rate the entire time that I was there. They think it was from a possible infection causing me to go into possible preterm labor, giving me contractions. So they, because of my blood tests and my urine tests, but they ended up doing an iron infusion, which we had no idea that there were any side effects. They didn't tell us if there were any bad side effects or that there could be allergic reactions, which is rare for the allergic reaction part. They didn't tell us anything of that nature. My doctor they prescribed it, they put it on the IV and walked out. That's where this begins, because they started doing it because my heart had been stable for a good 2 hours or so. Wasn't jumping up there like it was the entire time I was there. And by jumping up there, I mean like below 120 is like a normal pregnant woman heart rate, and mine was going into the 130s and 140s at a normal breast rate. But side effects, like I said, or like what they're supposed to do. They're supposed to keep watch on me the entire time of getting it because of the fact that it can cause reactions, and they have to make sure that you're not reacting to it because it can lead to death. So they gave me it, just walked out, nobody checked on me, and about 30 minutes in, which they're supposed to check on you, watch you for the first 10 minutes of getting it, and then they come back midway through it, and they're supposed to watch you for 30 minutes after. They didn't do any of that. In fact, I was laying down, and I started having like a shortness of breath, and my chest started getting tight, and I asked my fiance because I started feeling, well, it's Alfred, you know, I started feeling my heart palpitating and going super fast, like I had just started running like 3 miles. And then I asked him to look at the monitor to tell me what I was saying. And what was the start? It was like 150s whenever you first looked
when
at
it started to hit into 130, and it was still, it wasn't jumping, it was just slowly escalating. So it went from maybe 115, that was pretty much where she was sitting, maybe because of an infection or something. But it went from 115 to 120 to 130 to 140, and it just kept on going all the way up to 160. When it hit 160, my heart dropped also.
Mm-hmm.
Her body began to swell. The first part of swelling that I noticed was in her lips. I kiss her lips a lot. I know when her lips are swollen, and the nurse tried to argue that with me.
Mm-hmm.
That's another neglectful act on the hospital's part.
Can I just say that I pressed the button as soon as I felt something was not right. Whenever he was like, it keeps going up, I pressed the button, and then she came in, the nurse that was on call, which, by the way, she didn't tell me or him what her name was. We never had a full conversation. I didn't even know that there was a change in staff, which they're supposed to tell you so that they can give you their numbers and stuff.
Proper care.
And so there was like no communication. That's another part of the negligence. I have no idea, even leaving now, what her name was or any of that. So she came in, and I'm obviously having what looks like some sort of heart attack. That's what I could describe it as. My chest was tightening up. It was traveling down my arms. I could feel it everywhere. My face was getting hot. I was starting to swell everywhere, like my feet, hands,
It was very obvious that
face.
she was
Still having some swelling.
She was having a very severe allergic reaction.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, when I say I watched her body swell up, I literally saw her lips normal, and then they blew up like Kim Kardashian.
Yeah. So that started, and then I was trying to explain to her that I couldn't breathe, and she kept trying to lay me back down on my side.
They proceeded to tell us that her lips normally look like that.
Yeah.
To me, her fiance.
And him, what my lips look like. I could feel it. I could feel it when I was moving and talking, and then I could feel it in my toes and my hands started burning, and then she literally, instead of getting help, this nurse walked over to my contraction monitor and looked up at it and was just sitting there with her mouth open staring at it. Wasn't feeling urgent at all, wasn't running out of the room getting help. None of the other nurses knew what was going on, so I felt like I wasn't being heard. She tried to put an oxygen mask on me like that was going to help, which it did not.
With an allergic reaction.
Yeah, with me basically, I'm sitting there dying.
Swelling and inflammation all throughout her body.
And then I called my mom because I felt like I knew that she would probably do something at that point, and I was kind of trying to communicate to her what was going on because I was scared, and like it was just me and him in there, and we're both terrified. And she calls the nurse's desk, and she's freaking out, and that's when they realized what was going on, and they all came in rushing, and by that time I was violently vomiting, like everything in my stomach out.
Even the acid.
Yep,
all of the
everything.
Acid.
So it was so painful, and I was contracting at the same time, and it was just a big mess. And then they took further time to get my doctor there to give me Benadryl. They had to give me 2 big things of it in my IV.
They had to give her 2 Benadryl and also
2 nausea medicines to try and stop the nausea. And within that time frame, if they hadn't given it to me as soon as they did, I would be dead. That was just like a crazy, oh my God, scariest moment of my life, I will say that, because I thought that I was done for sure. But all I could think about was the babies, and that's pretty much it. But it was just a big, reckless thing. Reached out to the patient advocacy people. They hadn't gotten back to us, but we're assuming that they're probably gonna possibly look into the negligence on their hospital's part, since we don't have a case at the moment. But the case is just about basically negligence. Like, that should not have happened. They should have communicated to me, because if they had told me that there were side effects like that, I would have said no. I have always had problems with iron. My body doesn't react to iron right. I could take so many tablets and I will constantly have very low iron. That's just how I've always been. I was out with my last pregnancy. It's not a bad issue. Runs in the family. He didn't even try to give me any capsules. He just went straight to an infusion, which is, it's recommended that you don't do an infusion. And then the more I looked into it, and the more nurses, after I posted about it, commented saying this is why they're scared to do it, because it can be fatal. And a lot of them recommend doing the Benadryl before an infusion because of things like this possibly happening. But the main problem was that we were not communicated to, and I was not cared for immediately. It was like I was waiting to die, and that's just, and the fact that nobody ran in, you know, until somebody said something. It's like that nurse should have went out there and said, hey, something's going on in here. I need you, you know. I was expecting full care of people to run in, but it was just her walking non-urgently out of the room and then came back in to try and give me an oxygen mask. And then staring at the screen like, yeah, okay, I'm dying. Can you fucking help me? Like, Jesus. So, yep, that was our very fun adventure. We are home now, and
I'll keep you posted.
I'm like second guessing that hospital, because I know they have two hospitals. The OB goes to Wellington and that Bethesda. So it makes me really want to tell him that I'm considering changing hospitals for sure. So I'm having some lower back pain for sure. But anyhow, yeah, just wanted to let you guys know what's going on. We are not in preterm labor at the moment. We did get 2 steroids. I did get 2 steroid shots to my legs. Those are very painful.
Very thick liquid.
Yeah, freaking painful. I'm telling you, like 1,000 bee stings in one spot, and then it continues after the shot. But I get 2 of those to develop the baby's lungs, and and it also decreased risk for like brain injuries and things like that for if they're born early. As you can tell, I still have like
premature birth defects.
Swelling in my face for sure, because it's puffier than normal. But anyhow, that was our fun experience. I'm sorry I couldn't record all that, because obviously I wasn't expecting any of that to happen.
She was in the process of dying.
Yeah, I can't record YouTube, and I'm, you know, on my deathbed. So we will update you further, and let you know how this is going and how the preterm stuff is going. Thank you guys for watching, and you can follow the journey. That was just awkward. You still have that around your wrist?
I'm keeping it as a keepsake.
Yeah, this is what they used to put my hair up when I was
she was vomiting.
Violently vomiting.
Violently vomiting. Well, it's what I put her hair back. While violent. They didn't do shit.
Yeah.
I did it.
So, alright. See you guys later.